Have you thought about the difference between a why of a challenge or a situation versus a how or what? Before we talk about that, let me show you where I am. The beach is one of my favorite places to be. I'm in Tel Aviv. I have a few more days here, so of course this is magical. But let's get back to the why versus the how and what of it. When you focus on any single problem you might have in the day, think about why. Why is it not working with your husband? Why are you having an argument with your best girlfriend? Why is it difficult at home with finances? Why can't you go on vacation? Why is it so challenging with your interpersonal or perhaps with your family relationships? It's a why. And it becomes a very closed loop when you're always focused on why versus on how or what. When you go from a why am I having a difficult time in my relationships, versus what is the singular point of contention or challenge within my relationship, and how can I move forward from it? Can you see the difference? When we focus on the why, it becomes a very closed loop negative circle of which finding a solution to be able to move forward from your challenge is incredibly difficult. When you add to the why a how and a what, specifically of why am I having an argument with my husband, or why are my husband and I having the same specific argument, then add what is the specific challenge between us that's preventing us from moving forward. Then it's the how can we move forward. And when you ask the what and the how, then you come up with an answer. And it happens with everything you do in your life, if you think about it. Why is it so difficult to get reservations into this restaurant on Friday night? Because Friday night is the most, busy night of the week for dinner. Everybody wants to go there. So what can you do differently in order to get reservations for that Friday? Be flexible and maybe not have that specific Friday, but plan 4 Fridays in advance. Because if the goal is to get a reservation to that specific restaurant, then being flexible enough to go plan out 4 weeks, then you get the reservation. That is so much more opportunistic and so much more open in your life. And that same formula can be applied to anything else you do in your life, whether it comes to your relationship wisdom, because here in Feminine Spaces, we're always talking about feminine power, right? Which comes with that power of that inner power of knowing yourself and knowing who you are and where you come from and what you want and what you don't want, and being able to express your wants and needs and desires, not only when it comes to yourself as a woman, but also how you apply it to your relationship, which is relationship wisdom. And then it's self-mastery, which is knowing yourself. And then, of course, conscious living, always through that feminine lens. So when you're out here living your most magical life, and the question is, why doesn't this work? Why am I not achieving the goal that I want? Why is this not coming out with the outcome that I want? Add, why am I having a difficult time in my relationship? Why am I not attaining the financial goals that you're looking for? Why are you not receiving peace in your relationships with your family? Why are you not getting the education or the job that you want? Add, what is the specific thing that you need in order to achieve that? And then how do you go about achieving that? Now, how do you apply that into your everyday life? The why addresses the specific challenge. And instead of focusing on the specific challenge, to break that circle, focus on the what is the specific thing that you need to do in order to achieve the outcome. And then how do you go about receiving it? Let me know how it works for you. Write it down in the comments. Pussily Puss. And I'll leave you with this.